Right. Quick check-in with Canto number 40, going from 30-something to 53, where we learn more about, why they've got this system set up. And we've set up the base system, which is like, they take 10 men to be wives to 10 of the men, because there's 100 of them. But as things go by, and Ortia is old, her daughter Alessandra falls in love with a comely youth, and she begs for his life and says, like, okay, well, if he can take on the 10 and defeat them all in combat, then we'll spare his life. That's the thing. And so she proposes this, like, from now on, you have the choice. If you're a guy and you arrive on these shores for whatever reason, you can either submit to die immediately, or you can battle the 10, and if you can defeat them all, then you can stay. At which point, a venerable counselor, stands up and says, "Yeah, well, what about all the women wives that he's deprived? If he kills these 10, each one of these guys has 10 wives." So the old lady, with a little bit of a leer in her thing, says, "But if you wish to put him to the test, then let us do it in another way. If to 100 women he can give what 10 can manage, let the young man live." Which is like, oh, well, that is quite the challenge. That is almost as much of a challenge as killing 10 guys single-handedly in combat. So I guess we'll see what the give and take in all this is. There's kind of a comedic, lascivious thing to all of this. While at the same time, yeah, we're still getting that kind of disquiet of cruel women who seem to be so pissed off at men that they've made it their society's reason for being is to murder all men who come into their class. Virtually all men who come into their class. But they've had to make, because of nature's laws, they can't make children on their own, so they've had to make some adjustment to it. It's not completely a crazily idealistic society which would just go to self-extinction because they wouldn't have children. I mean, they could also just adopt a lot of girls that way, I guess. Though, if each time they get a shipwreck, if they take all the women and kill all the men, that might help do the population. I'm not quite sure if it would or not, but these are quibbles. It's more about, like, I think there's an underlying thing here for you, like, women are really pissed off at men, and we're disquieted by this. And what if there was a whole society that was run on the, to guys, very puzzling anger that women have for some reason? It's almost like they've been oppressed for generation upon generation upon generation in our society, in our cultures. What's all that about? Says the clueless guys who have no maybe don't have that further jump. And I thought someone like Aristo, I think it's like, yeah, there's a lot of reason why women are pissed off, and this might be a manifestation of it. But yeah, so it works both ways. All right, those are my thoughts on Orlando Furioso, Canto 20 up to stanza 53.